Thank you very much. Rahim Rashidi from Kurdistan TV. Simple question. CIA director, he confirmed Qasem Soleimani was in Kirkuk. And Abu Mahdi Muhandis, they were used, Shia militia in Iraq. It is very clear. They were used US weapon to attack Kurdistan, to attack Peshmerga, to attack US ally. And strategy is not clear.
I agree with you. Look, the U.S. military has whitewashed the roles of Shia militia inside of Iraq. These are militia. One of them, look, they're under an umbrella called the Popular Mobilization Forces. Its operations leader is an individual who's listed as a specially designated global terrorist by the U.S. government, Muhandis, who you mentioned. In his designation, he's listed as an advisor to Qasem Soleimani. The Popular Mobilization Forces today it reports directly to the Prime Minister of Iraq, and it's institutionalized as an official arm of the Iraqi military. But again, it only reports to the Prime Minister. The U.S. military, U.S. State Department has whitewashed this issue. Their position has been that they're part of the official government. One of these organizations is called Hezbollah Brigades. It's not Lebanese Hezbollah. It's listed as a foreign terrorist organization. All of the key groups in the Popular Mobilization Forces, all of the largest militias, the most influential, the most powerful, that have been at the forefront of the Iraqi offensives in every major city inside of Iraq, they're all hostile to the United States. Several of their leaders are listed as especially designated global terrorists. Some of them have openly stated, if Ayatollah Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, orders me to overthrow the Iraqi government, I will do that. I'm at his calling. They've made threats against the United States. They said they would target the United States if ordered to do by Khamenei. As you said, Soleimani has even been identified as an advisor to the Iraqi prime minister. You have a significant problem here inside of Iraq. The U.S. withdrawal, in my estimation, they opened the door for Iranian influence to flood in. The ironic thing is, when I was embedded in Iraq and spoke to senior and mid-level Iraqi military officers who were, by all accounts, were loyal to the Iraqi government, they feared just this thing. They predicted that a U.S. withdrawal would allow this to happen. There needs to be clarity from the U.S. government in order to how to deal with this problem, or else you basically, what has been established inside of Iraq with these Popular Mobilization Forces is basically analogous to Iraq's IRGC. That was what's been created. They're going to usurp power over the military. They've already really have done that. They've been the most influential force on the battlefield next to the Counterterrorism Service, which also reports to Iraq's Prime Minister. It's a very big problem, and it's one I'm not very confident in seeing this problem being resolved in any time shortly, unless there's a major change in the understanding. You know, look, the Bin Laden files, you have to understand, I realize there's no connection here between the two, but we have to understand what is actually going on and look at it reasonably and say, this is what's happening, in order to develop policy and strategy to counter it. But when you have top U.S. officials and U.S. generals saying PMF is not a problem inside of Iraq, well, then that's what U.S. policymakers are getting, and therefore, you know, you have this problem. And it's, look, I'm going to say one more thing. Look at the problem that Hezbollah has created with, what, a population of 4 million in Lebanon? Now you have Iraq with about a population of 30-something million people. That's what the PMF's recruiting base is. This is what's in store for the Middle East.
So as moderator, I have to ask, is there anyone from the State Department or the Iraqi embassy in the crowd who wants to stand up and take that? Not this time. Okay.
I'd be happy to
We have
discuss
a question in the back of the room.